Well, welcome everybody to what is a bit strange for me is this channel. I've set this up, I think I've set this up, it's certainly not something that I would normally do. It's not really my bag, it's a bit narcissistic if you like for me, but I feel like I'm kind of getting on a little bit now in age, and I'm planning a very big motorbike journey and a big trip to Turkey. But a bit of a bigger route really, because it's going to encompass Italy and some of Greece as well, and obviously I've got to get there and back. But I wanted to kind of chronicle it because I kind of feel like, I mean, I'm 58 now, probably next week, and I wanted to kind of just chronicle this journey, because maybe if I'm lucky, I've probably got 10 years or so maybe of riding sort of big bikes, getting out into the world, riding motorbikes, that sort of thing. So I'm not going to be one of these, jump up and down, let's get really enthusiastic about this and God knows what. I am what you see, and that's kind of what we'll get. I don't want these vlogs to be plastic in any way. I just want them to be real. I want them to just try and let you show, if you're interested, to see this journey. It's a bit of an epic trip. I think it's something around 7,000 miles in total. Which we're going to be running around and riding. I'm doing the whole thing solo. I will be meeting some people on the way down, and we'll talk about that kind of as we go. And it's just going to be really just to see what we're what I get up to, how this new motorbike. I've just got a new 850 GS Adventure, a BMW GS Adventure, which I've got to say I've already fallen in love with it, really, to be honest. I did about 47,000 miles on my old 800 GS, which I had from new, and that really never missed a beat. The old Rotax engine on that was just a stunning bit of kit, and did a lot of miles on that, and grew to love it. But this bike, almost immediately, I've kind of really got into it. But we'll see how it lives up, because there's going to be plenty of off-road. There's going to be probably a bit of falling off. There's going to be all sorts of things like that. But I just wanted to just keep it, just basically do this as an introduction. So what I'll do is I'll flick over, and of course as well, I'm only just starting to get into this filming malarkey. So we'll see how good I can improve over the over the time that I'm posting up these posts, and I hope that a lot of them are interesting, and we can have some good time together. We'll see how we go. But I'll move over to the screen now, and I'll show you the route that we're going to do, and we'll go from there. Cheers. And of course, mistake number one, I've forgotten one of the most important things I was going to actually say as part of this introduction. You can probably gather from behind me that I'm a bit of a amateur musician. Try and do a little bit of playing, stuff like that. So throughout this whole kind of series of videos that I'll produce, I'm going to be putting in background music, which is some of my own, some friends of mine, and my offer is open to anybody here that has got their own music, obviously royalty free, because I'm not prepared to pay for that, which I think is fair. And I'll promote your music. I'll put it on the channel. I'll promote it in other areas that I can as well. If you've got music that is there that I like and I think is going to be fitting for this, just kind of keep it real. But anything that you do post up, just please ensure that it is absolutely royalty free, because otherwise we'll be coming for you, not for me. All right, many thanks. Okay, so here's the start of a map, if you like. And what I want to do is I'll just zoom into areas where we're going to go. But I mean the general rule here is that we're starting right from up here. We're heading out on April the 8th, and on my first day I've got to get down Calais job, Dover to Calais, and I'm heading down to Bonn, which is just down here. So first night we're stopping down there. So there's a bit of a trip for that first trek right the way across. I'm going to just try and black the bike down, because I've got to be down in Croatia in 3 days. So day one, straight out to Bonn. Day two, we're heading down to Munich. I'm not going to go into loads and loads of detail about this. If anybody's ever been out this area, there's a very nice area to go. There's Augsburg. That's quite a nice town in Germany to go and visit if you're around. And then the next day, day 3, I've got to travel from Munich, and I've got to get down to Zagreb in Croatia. So I'm going to cross the Alps, and I've got to get down to Zagreb in Croatia, where, luckily for me, which is very good, sort of part of the industry that I'm in with heating, etc. I'm meeting up with the guys at Panasonic EU to share some knowledge of heating system design, actually, with a load of these guys down there. So we're meeting up with a load of guys, which will be really interesting to see what, how they do things in Croatia, and obviously the surrounding areas as well, which would be good there. So we'll do a day of training on day 4. And then day 5, got a big trip. Day 5, we're running from here. Now we've got to get over to Sibiu, which we're actually going to Avrig. We can see that Avrig just down here. We've got to get over there from Zagreb in Croatia. So when you see that journey, what you've actually got to do in order to get the speed up there, you've got to come all the way up just south of Budapest, and then come across to get down to this point. And for me, this is when it really kind of starts the ride, really, the sort of like, the kind of the more exciting stuff. I wanted to kind of just get the bigger miles out of the way first of all. Now, unfortunately, in April, say I'm stopping here at Avrig, and the reason that I wanted to stop here at Avrig is this little section down here is the Transfer-Garrison Pass. Now, it's normally not open until certainly sort of mid-June sort of time, depending on the weather. If it's not, I think what I'll probably do, because I've got a big ride again that day. I was planning on trying to run that whole ride, and again another very big ride right the way down to Varna, which is on the coast of Bulgaria. It's right down to here. Now, that's an epic ride for a day's ride down to there. But if I can't get on this pass, on this Transfer-Garrison Pass, and you can see there, that's the kind of the bit that is just a bit crazy. They think it's actually better than the Stelvio Pass, from what I've heard. I have heard that if I follow on and I go down to Brasov, this road here is actually also pretty good, and it should be open most of the year round. Just not going to know until we get there. Just not going to know. It could be snowing the day before. It could be, and I'm expecting to get some pretty shocking weather riding down. So there's no such thing as bad weather, as they say. It's just bad clothing. So hopefully we'll be warm and we can keep going. But yes, if that's the case, then I'll come down. I'll come down this road here down to is that Pitești? We'll try that, and then we'll head down this main road going into Bulgaria, so through Bucharest, and then down through into Varna. That's going to be, as I say, probably one of the longest day trips that I shall be doing, because after Varna, I'm going to slow right down. I'm actually going to spend a couple of days there on the coast and get some video editing done and check the bike's all good and all those kind of things. But then I've heard as well is that this coast road all the way down to Burgas and then all the way down here is absolutely stunning till we get to the Turkish border. So I'm going to spend a day or two even just running down through there. This national park here is supposed to be stunning. So I want to go and spend a bit of time there, take some photos to get a bit of video, see the Black Sea. I've never ever seen the Black Sea in my life. So travel down and do that. And then we're looking at probably crossing the border into Turkey right here. So we'll see how we go with that. I'm going to get into Turkey. And we're moving through Turkey. I want to really avoid Istanbul if I can, and so I'm not really big into big cities, so I shall probably take this route down here coming into Istanbul, but I shall take the northern bridge going across down by Istanbul airport. I definitely don't want to take this major bridge going through there, and I can bypass the whole of that area. And my plan, once I get into Turkey, I want to go to Cappadocia. I want to go and see the balloons and the caves and all the rest of it there. But there are some epic bike trips along this northern coast route, which I say I'm going to make it up a little bit as I'm going along. But there's a few things that I want to take into consideration. I'm travelling right the way over to Erzurum, over this side here, because there's a couple of things that I want to see over here. One is called the Dark Canyon, and if nobody's ever, I'll see if I can put a link in the description below. But the Dark Canyon, just Google it and have a look. It's an epic bike ride, all off road, and travels a lot. And again, depending on the weather and what the situation is, I want to go then to the I think it's the D915. It might actually be the D918. We'll have a look. I'm just looking up now just to see on my phone what it is. It's the So the Dark Canyon is the D877, but then you've got after that you've got the D915. Now the D915 is actually it's just down from here. It's just coming down to this point here. This is supposed to be the most dangerous road most dangerous road in the world, apparently. But we'll see, with sort of like sheer cliff rock faces and God knows what. But it looks absolutely epic, and it's something that I just think that it's just got to be done. Loads of bikers go and do it. And I don't think it's as tough as everybody kind of says. The roads, even in its narrowest places, is still probably over 3 meters wide. In total, so I don't think it's so bad. I think the biggest problem is going to be when you actually come across another truck or something like that coming the other way. But I don't think you get many trucks going up on that. And then I'm coming across country, and I'm going down, and I'm staying just here. I want to stay just outside of this town, Sanliurfa, I think it's called, and this is where all of the tepes are. So Göbekli Tepe, I'm going to see Göbekli Tepe. That's been my bucket list for as long as I can remember, really, since I read Fingerprints of the Gods by Graham Hancock in about 1992, I think it was, something like that. I've always just been fascinated by this whole area around here of a civilization that was, pre 2,500 years old, but I'm not just any civilization, a proper advanced civilization. And so I'm going to spend a few days around this area to really understand it and meet some locals. And I've got some Turkish friends here in the UK, and they've told me that this 12,500 year is possibly a bit of nonsense, and there was actually civilization, an advanced civilization there up to anything like 35,000 years ago. But hey, comment in the comments below and let me know if you know any more than me. This is a trip about learning, and I really want to find out exactly as much as I possibly can. So after that, I will be travelling all the way along the southern coast of Turkey. Now, this is where I want to really get into doing some wild camping, because I understand that it's absolutely fantastic along this coastline here. If we just follow this coast all the way around, I want to go to Antalya. You can see I've got some of the places that I'm going to be stopping at. There's Olympos, Turkey, down here, Pamukkale, which is right over the west side, right up here somewhere. But the idea is that I spend probably a week or maybe 2 weeks travelling along this Antalya coastline. It's actually, I think it's following the earthquake route, isn't it? I remember being in Marmaris years ago and actually being in an earthquake. Marmaris being where is it? Just down here, yeah. But then the idea is one of two things. I'm not sure yet, because the ferries are still a little bit awkward with ferries running certainly mid to end of May, when I'll be at this point here, is either get a ferry from Izmir over to Piraeus in Athens and ride through Greece, or more likely what will happen is that I will just carry on north, get over the bridge here, and then I will cross over the border back into Greece at that point there, and I will go across land. And I've never done any of this before, so I'm really keen to see this. But the trips change all the time. You never know what's going to happen. I've got some good friends in Crete. We've been going to Crete for a long time, so there's even a possibility of maybe getting a ferry to Rhodes, and then another ferry over to Heraclion, and then I'll go and see all of my friends, which are just down around this area here of Crete. which again is another option, and then a ferry back over to the mainland, and then ride back up to Igoumenitsa, sorry, and then that ferry will take me across to Brindisi, up here, up to Brindisi, and then I'm going to travel right the way through. I want to go and I want to see all of the major volcanoes. I'm not going to go, unfortunately, over to Sicily, but I want to go and see all of the major volcanoes, which I'm really quite into, and I want to just travel right the way up the spine of Italy, seeing some of these beautiful roads that are out there, great people, great food, spend a bit of time. I'm going to head to around northern Italy to Milan. Hopefully, see some friends at Alpha Boilers and go and see them. This is their. I think it's quite a big anniversary for them this year, 2024. So that could be an interesting one. Spend a few days around it. Again, I don't like staying in cities, so I'm going to be staying outside of cities. It's a bit cheaper to stay. Hopefully, I'll be able to do some camping up through here if the weather's all nice and good, which would be really good. But again, I want to come and explore some of the Dolomites up here, some of the Stelvio Pass if it's there. I spend a couple of days there doing my travelling around before we get on to the Mont Blanc Tunnel, which I've never done. So I want to hit the Mont Blanc Tunnel, and then it's going to be a bit of a rapid ride up through France, Switzerland, all the way home. France generally, all the way home. I'll probably get once I've crossed onto Mont Blanc Tunnel, I can get to Dijon in a day, I like that town. I've been there a few times. I'll definitely go back to there. And then from Dijon, I can get up and get the ferry for the next day and then come home. So yeah, pretty epic trip. I hope we'll see. Like everything, best laid plans. Probably all going to go wrong, but then that's life, isn't it? But there we go. So what I'll do now, I'll sign out of this, and the next step is I'll give you a quick walk around of the motorbike and some of the kit that I'm taking, and see what we got. But if you're liking what you see and you're interested in this trip, it'd be great if you subscribed. It'd be great if you gave it a thumbs up. Apparently, according to YouTube, if I can get 1,000 subscribers, which possibly, who knows, I might even make a couple of quid out of doing it, which might even pay for some of my fuel going around. Who knows? We'll see how we go. But it's I'll try and keep it interesting if I can. And obviously, if you don't like it, you don't have to do it, do you? So this is it. She's only done probably just about 1,000 miles. I think something like that. Just run in. Taken out. Got my old boxes from my old bike. Some nice bar mufflers, which hopefully will be doing the job for me if it gets done. I've got heated grips on this. I mean, it's got pretty much all kind of bells and whistles on it, which is really, really, really good. I'll do a little walk around in a second. But yeah, 850 GS Adventure, 853 cc's, I think, and I think around 90 brake horsepower, something like that. Miles more than I would ever need, and certainly would outstrip any of my talents that I have. Bit top heavy, I've got to say, a bit heavier than my other bikes, without the boxes, but fully loaded without the boxes, and because it's got the 25 litre fuel tank, it's got the Adventure tank, so I've got about if I'm careful, about a 270 mile tank range, which is pretty good for a bike like this. But a little bit top heavy. But once you've done literally a couple of miles, about 2 miles an hour, one or 2 miles an hour, all the weight's gone, and incredibly balanced. In fact, I can't believe it's actually easier to filter through traffic with this bike than it was with my 800. So yeah, very interesting to do. But I'll do a quick walk around now. We'll have a look. So, starting at the top, I moved all the sat nav up to the top here. It was down on the bars, but it's just really awkward there. And with your tank bag, I mean, I've got the tank bag strapped a bit further back at the moment, but if that tank bag was further forward, when you're sitting on the bike, it's kind of difficult, and you're also taking your eye away from looking at the road, which is obviously not good. So I've got the touring screen. I've got the big touring screen, which you can drop it down and lift her up, which I kind of tend to keep it up. It really keeps all the wind buffeting right the way down. But that really works well. Little space for my telephone there. Obviously the TFT screen there, BMW's TFT screen, which is superb. I've got a PowerPoint here for USB, and another one over this side, which I've got a lead which comes down and sits in my tank bag. And once that's inside the tank bag, which is it's just superb, I can just charge up all my batteries and all the rest of it that's there. Can't really show you all behind the bar, but it's got all cruise control and all the rest of it on side. But I mean, these bar mufflers, these Touratech bar mufflers, I've had these for a while. I've been through some cold stuff, and I've got to say, it's these are the much nuts. There's no doubt about it. Looking at it from the front, yeah, she's pretty awesome. I mean, it's got the spots, which are quite handy. 21-inch front wheel on this. I've got the Michelin Anarchy Adventure 3s on here. Standard stock. This side of the bike actually does stick out a little bit. You can see from the handlebars here that box, if I square those handlebars up a little bit there, that box it's just a little bit wider than the actual handlebars are, so it's going to be something that I'm going to have to get used to. But so I've had these boxes for some time. But yeah, so there you go. That's the Steed. Now what we're going to be doing, so I'm obviously getting it all ready, and I'd like to just I like to rehearse and get this stuff correct. So in about 2 weeks' time, halfway through March, something like that, still be a bit nippy, but they're just going to buzz out and just buzzed out for a night with all the gear, camping out. So I'll camp out for the whole evening and get all the setup. So I'll have the bike mount. I'll have the camera mounted on. I'm using, just to let you know, I'm using a DJI Action 3 action camera, which is pretty good from what I can see so far. I'm still going to learning a lot of the settings and all that kind of thing, but once it's done, obviously we'll ride down. I'll probably get a section where I'll mount the camera down here, so you get a wheel view. Another one on my crash helmet. I've only got one camera, so I'm not one of these sort of like 3-4 camera people. I don't see the point in me doing that at this stage. So I'll just make it as interesting as I can, running right the way through. But yeah, I'll set up everything. So all the tents, I've got all my camping gear goes in here. All my tools and some washing and clothing and stuff like that goes in here for some, and some sleeping bag and stuff. There's some kitchen gear, some filming gear and stuff like that, computer and stuff that will go in there. And then I've got just a waterproof bag, like a roller bag that will sit on the back here like that. So I'm taking quite a lot of gear. There's certainly I'm not going to be wanting for any gear. And if anything, I'm probably taking too much. But then that's what all riders say. They always say that you should always try and shut down and see if you can take less. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, as I say, and this is the first one, just the introduction, and we'll see what happens on the next time when we go doing a bit of camping out. So wonderful. Thanks very much. Cheers. Bye.